Pretty brisk afternoon out there, Keith. I'm guessing this is the coldest noontime that we have had so far this winter?
Yes, yeah, and because we started so cold this morning, actually even colder than guidance at 10 in Portland, 0 in Sanford, 5 below it in Freiburg. So yeah, you go from there, even with the sun, it's not going to really help you too much. We're in the 20s for the most part. Talk about the ski resorts, happy to see the snow, obviously, but almost just as important to them is cold enough weather to make more snow, and we're certainly there in the teens and 20s in the mountains, and that's not at the summit, that's at the base. So the satellite looks good. Most of the rest of today will be sunny. You can see some fair weather ocean effect clouds. What happens is when the air is cold enough and it's coming in from the north or sometimes from the northwest as well, you can get these ocean effect clouds to develop. It's like lake effect snow, except it goes out over the ocean and no one really cares, but it's much colder air when compared to relatively warmer water that creates its own little quasi-atmosphere. So tonight is not going to be as cold as last night. Part of that is because clouds move in and the air mass just isn't quite as transitorily frigid, if you will. In the upper 20s, could be some low 20s, certainly in the mountains where that's where we are right now, but it won't be as cold. Tomorrow also we start with a brief flurry, maybe we clear out to some sun by the afternoon. Temperatures should be able to push to around 40 along the coastline, 30s elsewhere, but it's a lot more comfortable of a day when compared to today. And then I'm going to show you the beginning frames of this system on Wednesday, and then we're going to talk more broadly about it. So we looked at this last week, and it looked like it was just offshore, but it was unclear whether or not it would impact us. The models have trended a little bit more northwest with it, and so bringing this storm into our picture on Wednesday. So what does that storm look like? Well, essentially it's two pieces of unphased energy, a low out here and an upper level trough here. So your traditional kind of snowstorm nor'easter would phase these two together down here and you'd move up with a snowstorm. It looks like we're going to be caught in the transition on Wednesday between this storm being out to sea and a little bit warmer and this upper level low here. So at this time it looks like we could, right along the coastline, be too warm for anything but rain, which is not my favorite idea. There could be a mix inland and then some snow builds back likely into the foothills and mountains and across northern Maine. Now, this is not the final solution here, most likely, because the models keep messing with the phasing of these two storms. So if it phases faster, everyone will go over to snow. If it phases slower, it could actually end up just still going out to sea. But I'd say at this point, we should plan for a mixture on Wednesday, and we'll try to nail that down this afternoon as to who gets rain, who gets snow, and how much we're talking about. We get a break in between, then watching another system on Christmas Day itself. This is Christmas morning, and that could be a quick shot of snow. It's unclear whether or not that's a big deal or not. The models keep going back and forth with that as well. So we're going to focus on Wednesday, then try to get to Christmas. The good news on this, it could move fast enough on Christmas that it wouldn't be a big travel problem. So if we take all that into account, future snowfall depth on Saturday morning, Christmas morning, the vast majority of the state has a white Christmas. Right along the coast, if Wednesday turns out to be rain, it might be close because we could end up with just like a half inch or something of snow that was left over. We'll keep an eye on it. Put chance snow Wednesday, but again, it is worth noting we could see a mix along the coastline. Sunny on Thursday, looks pretty quiet on Christmas Eve. We'll watch Christmas Day itself and see what it turns out to be. That doesn't feel like it could be a big storm based on the way everything's set up, but it's certainly possible we could see some morning snow on Christmas morning, which is interesting. Everybody thinks they want that. When it comes down to their actual plans, it depends how you feel about that, but we'll nail it down as we get a little bit closer up.
Yeah, it all depends on how much travel you have as part of your Christmas day.
Right, and how much snow we're talking about. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Keith.